Good morning, everyone. Give me just a couple of minutes to get this set up on my Facebook, and we will get started. There we are. And it is still not going to allow me to see comments. Not sure why. Okay. Well, we're going to go on ahead and get started. I think we'll be small in number today. I thought I had the volume down. I do think we'll be small today because of the Queen's service and things going on. People are watching TV and cluing into that. So we're going to go on ahead and get started. So give me a moment to turn this around and we'll get going. Okay, so we're gonna make a couple of Christmas tags today, but more than that, we're gonna line up and line a box. If you've never done any lining of boxes, stay tuned because we're gonna line one of these craft boxes, and I wanna get those lines straight. So give me a minute to get this straightened out. Wrong way. I can live with that. Okay, so we're gonna start with a craft box. Even though I said we're doing Christmas tags, I'm gonna use my tags as a gift box later at the end of the week. And so I wanted to show you today how to go about lining the box first, and then we're gonna make a couple of quick tags. I love this set. It is called Celebrate with Tags, or the Celebration Bundle. And it has these incredible tags, not itty bitty little things, but it has nice big ones. And because of the different emblems, we have, of course, Christmas and winter, but we have balloons for birthdays, and we have candles for birthdays. We have hearts for Valentine's Days. There's so many opportunities of using this set. So that is where I'm concentrating this week, is making dies. But we are also using the craft box, and I'm going to turn this into a gift box by the end of the week. So if you're late coming in, I can't, for some reason, I'm not getting my comments now. So I don't know what's going on. If Facebook has made a change or what. So I'm going to have to play with this later in the week and get back on here and just see if I can locate them. But for now, just leave comments and I'll come back and I will view them. So what I want, I could simply put a piece of DSP in the bottom and line my box, and it would be really pretty. But I want a divided liner. I wanted one that's going to, and this is one that's not correct, but it's the idea of what we're going to do. Okay? I've changed up the measurements. This was my play type, my prototype. And we're going to line it so that we have sections in here, but I am going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 9.5 by 5.5. And just so you know how I figured out my 9.5 by 5.5, well, let's see. The bottom of the box is 6, and we're going to say roughly 6.5. Okay. I want my liner to go up on the top, on this side, a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to add a 1/2 inch to 6.5, makes it 7. And I'm going to add a 1/2 inch to this to make it 7.5. But I also want 2 spaces in the middle that are dividers. Each one of these will go up a 1/2 inch and down a 1/2 inch. So if I'm doing this, I'm going to go 1/2 inch plus 6.5 makes 7. half an inch more makes 7.5. And then the half up and down adds another inch, which is 8.5. And another one adds another inch, which is 9.5. I know that sounds weird, but that's how I did it. And then to do this, it was 4.5, and I added a half an inch here and a half an inch here. So I ended up with 5.5 by 9.5. Okay? So I'm gonna start with my half an inch all the way around, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna score all 4 sides at a half an inch. We have had a busy weekend actually a busy few days prior to Saturday of running. And we got a lot accomplished, but lots to be done. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside for just a minute, okay? I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm going to take the DSP and I cut it. I didn't want it going up on the sides, so I took an inch off. And because I want it to not be crimped and snug, I took 1/8 of an inch off. So I cut this DSP at 8 3/8. I got rid of the half inch on the side and 1/8 of an inch. So 8 3/8. This way, I didn't want it to go up on the half sides, half inch sides. So I took that and I cut it at 4 3/8. And I'm gonna go on ahead and take some adhesive and I'm gonna seal it down. And I wanna go up this way, and there's a reason why. I'm gonna take tear-in tape and use this. I want the tear-in tape to be really strong and in place and hold it. So it's stronger than the adhesive is. If you're late coming in, guys, for some reason, I'm not allowed to see comments right now on Facebook. I don't know what's going on. It's just the way it is. Just when you think you got it figured out, then they turn around and do something different. So there's 1, and there's 2. We are doing a lining for a kraft, one of these kraft boxes. What are they called? Kraft gift boxes. And it has that little peekaboo little window frame in it. So I want this to fit in here, and keep in mind, I want it to be a little less than right on the edge of the lines. It's not on the score lines. Okay, so there is that. There's what I've got so far. So I've already scored it at a half an inch on all 4 sides. That gave me the centerpiece that I needed so that I could get my DSP in as centered as I could. Okay, now I'm gonna take it, and I've already scored the half inch, but I'm gonna go now and I wanna score 3 inches. And this is gonna be making the little peaks that stand up in the middle, the little dividers in the box. So I'm gonna score at 3 inches. I have my little cheat sheet, so make sure I've got it right. All right, score at 3 inches, and I'm gonna press several times so that it's good and creased. 3.5, and 4 inches. Okay, so that I can get it centered, it would be easier for me if I just take it out and start again. Go from the other side. I flipped it around, and now I'm gonna score this side at 3 inches, 3.5, and 4 inches. Okay. So before, we'll do the folding. We'll just fold it, okay? So I'm gonna crease on all of these score lines. So let's do the half inch around. Keep in mind that DSP, it's only attached in the center in a couple of strips. It's still loose in places. And if you remember, I was very explicit about making your adhesive to put that DSP down this way, because if I had done it this way, those peaks wouldn't stay in my box. They're gonna keep pushing up. I wanted it where it's gonna stay down. The adhesive, the DSP is gonna stay in place. So I went over the peaks. All right, now we're gonna do this one. We're gonna fold and give it a good crease. And we're gonna do an accordion fold this way. And we're gonna do another accordion fold this way. And that gives us our peak. Pull this out so I can get a good crease on that one. Okay, there's our peak. And I'm gonna do the very same over here. I'm gonna fold up. Now, if you've never been with me on Mondays, I kind of craft on the fly. I mean, I looked at this and I played with one. It wasn't perfect. Remember, I changed it up. And I kind of did another one just a few minutes ago to kind of play, but I haven't put it in the box. So it may not work. I mean, that's the way I am. You get me the way I am. Okay, so there's our peaks, okay? All right, I want to go on ahead and I want my peaks to be in place. So I'm gonna go on ahead and put this down with tear and tape. Where's my tear and tape from the one that I started? I need Pam here to help me. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna put the tear and tape here, and I am not going across that 1/2 inch score line. I'm just gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna do the other peak right here. Okay. So if I rub the tear and tape, it makes it so much easier to release this. And I just wanna fold it down. So now that peak is in place, okay? All right, and we're gonna do the same thing here. And I'm gonna fold this one over. Okay, so there's the two dividers all ready to go. But before we can put this in, I need to do some cutting. I need to get rid of these little corners. And I'm gonna notch it just a hair. And get rid of those 4 corners. So let me go and do that real fast. And I do like to notch it just a hair. I think it gives a little nicer look. Okay. One more. Okay. Now, the other thing is we've got excess piece paper right here. We have to fold this up, but we can't fold that up with these corners. So we're gonna take in and we're gonna go in and we're gonna cut, but these I'm gonna stay right on the score line. I'm gonna cut and I'm gonna cut. Same thing with this one. Score line, cut, and cut. Okay. Now I'm going to go on ahead and put a tiny little notch only on the edge. that is up against the box, not the bottom, not the piece that's got the DSP on it. I'm not going to notch there. Okay, so that's what I've got. Now I've got my flaps that will go up. Okay, so I'm going to do the same here, cutting on the score line. And this time I will notch it as I cut. But you're only notching the lining of the cardstock, not the DSP. Okay. Get rid of all those. So there's our liner. We've got it lined, we've got the divider in it, we've got the score lines. We've got to go on ahead and do some tear and tape here. Let's finish that roll of tear and tape wherever I put it. I am so bad about laying stuff down. So I'm going to put tear and tape on each of these little flaps because I want them to stay connected to the box. Easier to just add the tape that way on that side. So this box, I'm going to finish all week. I'm going to work on it. We're going to line it today, and I'm going to give you 2 simple little Christmas tags. And then we're going to come back and keep adding tags to it. And by Friday, I will have a box that's ready to go as a gift to a friend. You know, I like to use my paper crafting for my gifting. Whether you give them a sampler or you give them a kit from the kit line if they like to do kits, or you do a small framed piece. I just think it makes it more fun for them if they have things that you gave them. And they're not that costly. All right. Now, the other thing I need to do is and I can press them down because both of the dividers went that way. I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape. And I'm going to add a piece of tear and tape here in the middle because I want that box to not bump up. I'm going to add it to all 3 sections. Some of you may be watching and say, well, there's a lot easier way to do that. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. I just know that for me, this works for me. Okay? All right. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to come back to my craft box. So the craft boxes are already pre-scored, and they're easy to assemble. You just fold on all of the score lines. And I love the little peekaboo in it. So you could put cookies, you could put little candies that you make. You can do all sorts of things with it. And it's just perfect size. Just a perfect little box. Okay. So it even has adhesive tabs on it. So I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to fold this in. I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to fold this in. Okay, I got that much done. Now we're going to sit this in here and see if it works. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. All right, so we're going to take this one. It's going to be snug. There's no doubt about it. It will be snug when we go. But I want it to be snug so that it doesn't come up. Well, let's do this. There we go. And this one. Okay. All right, so we have our box. I'm gonna fold this back so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing now. Okay? So we're gonna go on ahead and take the adhesive off the back of this. You have to be real tricky because if that adhesive, once it goes down, it doesn't pop back up. It will tear and then all of this will have been for nothing. So I'm gonna do all three of the ones only on the bottom. I'm gonna put my hand under it so that I cannot possibly adhere it down. I'm gonna fit it in there as snug as I can. And then we'll have to come back and do this again to do the edge. Okay, so there it is in place, but it's not down yet. So let's go on ahead and get these pulled. So there's in place. We have all these little tabs. We want to make sure that they're there and they're tight. So there's that one. Okay, just about there. And then we can start on our tags. Have we got them all? I felt like that was maybe wasn't there. Yep. All right. And it's possible that that was probably tight enough that I didn't have to adhere this one, but I'm going to go on ahead and do so. Make sure this one is in. I'm getting under the adhesive, I can feel it. Okay. Okay, they're all in place. Then when you put your box down, you can go on ahead and finish the lid. By taking off that and taking this one off. And there's your box, and it will close. Like so. So we've got our dividers. What I'm going to do is I will add ribbon around it once I've got it done, and that will make those sides lay in there a little better. But we've got our 3 divisions for our box. We've got our peaks. We've got our lining, DSP. Everything is snug and in place, okay? All right, so now let's work on the tags. So these are the 2 tags that I'm going to do today, and they're very, very simple. Just using the die cuts, nothing special about them today. I just want to use the die cuts, and I knew I was going to spend most of my time doing the box. So these 2 tags are the ones that come from the celebration dies that we have in the holiday catalog right now. Celebration dies. You get multiple pieces. You get a tag that looks like this. It's a folded tag. So this is the piece that I used to create that one. And then this one here is a pocket. So you can include, you can put gift card, you can put money, you can do all sorts of things in there. So this one is more of a pocket type thing. And then they simply remove the tie, and they can see what's inside their little gift tag. All right, so we're gonna make both of these today. We're gonna make them in green. I've already cut most of my pieces, so we're gonna start with this piece right here. This is the green one that we're going to use, and it's already pre-scored, which makes it nice. Although I know when you fold it, you still have to kind of be careful because it'll get off just a hair. Okay? But the problem is I wanted it to have a lining that I could write on inside. So I literally came in and I ran, this one? Yep. I ran a piece of this and I only went half of it. I didn't waste the time. You could do the whole thing. And then if you did, you'd have 2 line pieces. I just went with 1 for now. And I know that it's probably hard to see, but there's actually an embossed line right along the edge. You might be able to see it on the green one better, that there's kind of a raised line right here. So it's kind of got an edge to it. And I'm going to trim that all the way off with my scissors. I'm not going to be perfect here. I'm just going to trim right along there. Keep in mind, you know, this is gift tags. As I was saying in my blog, nobody keeps gift tags. At least we don't. Maybe some people do. I don't. I like to make tags. So therefore, if I keep them, then I can't make more tags next time. So I'm going to cut off that little embossed edge all the way around. Including the part down here. Okay. And then I can put that on the inside of the card, lining up the hole. And I have one already in place, ready to go. So let's go on ahead and put that on. Lots and lots of trash today, those little curly papers. I want the hole to connect so everything lines up. All right, we're going to use garden green, and we're going to use the 2 in the from that's in the stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp 2 and from right there, and it's not even. But it's a gift tag. Hello there. They're going to throw it out. All right, next, I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I did it with a DSP. And it is going to be harder for me to see these score lines. All right, so I'm going to come along here and cut right here. All right. Yeah, much harder to see this one. I went in a little too far, so I'm going to have to go over here a little more. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to put that down with my adhesive. This is, this candy striped paper is, the candy cane striped paper is from the Sweetest, is it Sweetest Christmas, I believe. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna go on ahead and I wanna stamp a couple of mittens using my garden green. Ink up. Make sure you've got good ink. I always know that if I only stamp in the middle, that's where it's the faintest on my ink pad. You need to stamp all the way around it because then you get ink. The excess ink is on the outside of the stamp pad because we always stamp in the middle. Okay. So let's get our little mini die cut machine. Line up my mitten. Where is my mitten? There's my mitten. And another one. Okay. I hope I got all the way through that one. I did. Okay, we'll set this aside for now. And I'm going to finish this tag off. So I'm just going to simply put one of the mittens down flat on the tag. Make sure you don't cover up the hole. And the other one I'm going to put on with a couple of dimensionals. Okay. I'm just going to overlap them. We're going to go to the sequins that are in the bag. And I'm going to go with white sequins. These are adhesive-backed seasonal sequins, I believe is what they call it. I'm going to put it there where the little button is. And I'm going to put one right in the center of the snowflake. Okay, and if you want a couple of the colored ones, you can add a couple of the colored ones too. That's up to you. Put one down here and one up here. And to finish it off, I just had either, you can use baker's twine. This is something that I've had for a little while. It's just some extra string, but it's like baker's twine. And I always put my tags in with a loop. I loop it and I push the loop through. And then I bring the tips of the string through and I cut it. All right, so there's another string, another tag. So we've got, here's the one in red, here's the one in green. Now let's do this one and we'll be done. So this piece comes all as one, just like this. And we're gonna go on ahead and we're gonna fold this in. I do know that you have to be kind of careful on this part because that fold is so close and it doesn't, I don't know if it doesn't score deep or what, it's easy to get off the fold line. Like right there, I can see that I'm off. All right, and then we're gonna bring this up and this just glues in place, okay? All right, so let's go on ahead, and I did not bring my glue, so I will just use my adhesive. Tear it, I'll just put some snug tape, it'll work. It will work, but I probably, if I were doing this, I would make it with, glue in place. I would glue it down with liquid glue just to get it to really hold. And I don't want any of it to come over that edge because you need this, you don't want the center of the pocket covered. So we do this, and we do this, and hopefully everything lines up. There it is, okay? All right. So we're going to do it the same way. Here's your little pocket. You can slide a gift card in. You can slide money. I mean, you know, hello, my kids love money. Money works. So I took a piece of DSP and I already have it trimmed down. I just cut it and then I trimmed it off. Actually, I think on this one, I was able to just run it. I looked at the amount between the score lines and it's 2 1/8 and I believe I went 3 1/8 because I did not want it up where the circle was. So I just wanted a straight edge on all sides. So we're going to do this one. And it fits right in the middle like this. Okay. And we have a to and from. We have a piece on the back that goes in the back, and this is where I'm going to put my to and from. So let me go on ahead and stamp that right now. It just barely fits. And when I lift it, it may be just a little crooked. That's okay. It's hard for me to see the ribbon, the red rubber stamps now. I'm so used to the photopolymer. It makes it difficult. Okay, so there's that. We have a die cut that has a circle with stitching that comes in the set of the dies. So I'm just going to use it. Pop that up. And we have a little snowflake die that comes in the set as well. And it's got little stitching in it. So I'm going to go on ahead and use a glue dot if I brought them out. There they are. It's kind of like I Spy on my island right now because I have so much work stuff going on trying to locate everything. And I want my snowflake to be up and down. So I'm going to do it this way. And I should have probably put that on with dimensionals. Let's see if I can lift it. Oh yeah, we got it. Let's do dimensionals. And just give it a little nicer look. I love dimensionals. If I had to give anything up, there is no way dimensionals would be on my list of things to give up. I just love dimensionals. And we have one more thing to do here and put our string, and I'll show you how it fits in our box that we're going to work on all week. We're going to add to this box. Now, yes, maybe you don't need a lot of tags, but you know what? You can turn these tags into card fronts. Easy, easy. They could be added to the front of a card. So easy. Okay, so now let's take our little stamp, and we have our little green, and we need a little thing that says, "Be Jolly." I'm going to ink it up good on the side. Be Jolly. Close this down. Make room for my mini again. It's going to sticky because it's got adhesive on it. So let's get rid of the adhesive. We're going to line this up. And we are almost done. Okay. One more thing to do here. I want to take this and I want to get a little more green on it. So I'm going to line it up here. I'm just going to put it right there. And I'm going to adhere it right here. On the side, and I'm just going to trim a little off, and I gave it a little map. And I don't even think I'm going to notch it. It's kind of a knot. It was a pain to notch yesterday. So I think we're going to leave it just like that. And we're going to put some adhesive dimensional piece on there. Let's put one of the edges. And put that right across down here. I need a sequin. And I don't know about you guys. I don't care for these greens. That doesn't even look right to me. I guess maybe that'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll stick one right there. They're kind of off colors as far as I'm concerned, but put a couple there. If I don't use them, I'm going to come back and have all these excess green sequins I can't do anything with. And then I have to wait till St. Pat's Day. All right, so we're about done. I hope you guys left me comments. I'm sorry that I can't answer them right now, but I've got to figure out what is going on before my next Facebook Live that I can't get comments. So you may see me pop in and out just so I can figure out what I'm doing wrong to get the comments. Okay? And when we come back to our box that we have lined, we have our tags that will fit in our box. We have more tags that will go in our box. We're going to keep adding tags to it. And I think I'm going to put some little candies or something in right here. If it were a friend that was wanting, they'd like to do their own crafting, I would simply give them the pieces to the tags. Leave the mittens, the little labels of Be Jolly and stuff, and put a little strip of dimensionals in here and little pieces of sequin. But this box isn't really big enough for that. So I'm thinking I will do candies in there and tie it up. And this will be finished by the end of the week when you come back. So we will talk to you later. Thanks for being with me. And by the way, if you have not signed up for the Christmas card class, we are like 2 days away from the end of sign up. So make sure you get your information into me so that you're part of that kit. We are starting to cut cards. In fact, we're starting today. I was overcut a few. Yeah, Jim's so excited. He is so excited. Pool boy is so excited to help me. All right, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.